Welcome to Hand Turbo Tools Practical Test Part 3. And I sincerely hope that this is indeed the last part, because I had more turbo tools than I thought. So on the left, you see the equivalent turbo tool, the PET Handymate, that goes with the Kenmore Elite. And I don't have a Kirby Heritage Turbo 84 to go with its turbo tool sitting down there in glorious orange trim, so we will have to use my Heritage 2 Legend. So it's similar in looks, but it's a little bit newer in age. And if you manage to make it all the way to the end of this video, you'll actually get a nice little extra in there. So I won't tell you what it is, but you'll have to watch until the end of the video. And some eagle-eyed viewer also let me know that I have hit a milestone. 1,000 videos. So 3.5 years, 1,000 videos later. So this one should come up as video 1001, I suppose. Let's take a closer look at this PET Handymate. This wiggles up and down. It's not fixed. Got some typical bristles right here. Pretty standard. Look at the front though. 1, 2, 3, 4 huge notches. Big cutouts in the front. And on top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those aren't just for show. That's airflow and suction relief holes. And it really makes a difference. So let's see how well this works. Now the hose is definitely on the short side. I mean, this is all you got. You can stretch it a bit, but stretched, that's all you got. You can put on, wands, but this is really short. Now it's sturdy, but it's really short, and it's got some airflow relief in here, and that can come in handy when you hook something like this up. So listen for the speed difference when I move this back and forth. Almost stopped. Now it's completely stopped. Now it's moving a little bit. Now it's moving fast. So let's try this. Now that completely stopped. That is a real screamer when you use all the power available to you if you want. So this thing goes very, very fast on this microfiber cushion, and its low pile. And then also on my medium pile carpet, it also spins very, very fast. So this definitely gets 2 big thumbs up. Okay, on to the Kirby. Let's take a look at this very old Kirby turbo brush. Now I've got this, let's see, whoops, it'd be nice if you could see it right side up, $3.99 at a thrift store several years ago, actually. And I was looking for a good opportunity to introduce it, but also show how it works. Yeah, there This is a relatively large turbine that's in here. And just a few hours ago, earlier today, I went to go use it for this video, and I figured it probably wouldn't be in that great a shape. However, it was in worse shape than what I thought. So this turbine in here has two 608 Z bearings, one on either side. They're a pain to get off and replace. So I basically just greased everything as well as I could, but I think this might be like a 35-year-old tool. So everything's working, I think, as well as can be, but it took me a while to go ahead and give this the once-over. Also, the bearings, and they're not ball bearings here on either side of the brush, these were partially frozen, I guess you could call it. So this is screaming now. So we're in good shape now. I don't think it's perfect, but it's real close. And as you can see, there's an older hose there with metal ends. So trying to stay, I guess, period, as much as possible. I kind of forgot to mention that just like the Kirby brush roll, not necessarily in here, but in, like, say, a new G series, has 3 primary height settings. This one is infinitely adjustable with a screw, but this one has 2 height settings. So I have it set on position 1. And believe me, there's a difference between position 1 and position 2. And I want to show you what position 1 actually does. It's kind of funny. All right, let's go ahead and convert the Heritage. So I have both this older metal end hose, and I have a plastic end hose as well that actually goes with this particular machine specifically. And this one has more airflow. It's kind of funny. This one's actually sealed a bit better than the newer one I have that actually came with this. So let's see what this does. And also of note, you've got a little airflow suction relief slider in here as well. Down just a little bit. I can open that up. And it hardly slows down at all with that open. So this is just fine. A lot of agitation. Okay, let's see what it does on the carpet. Slows down a little bit. And now it hardly slows down at all. Yeah, it barely, I mean, it's great. It maintains its speed. Okay, now, here's the funny part. I'm going to force it to slow down. A lot of agitation. That is a lot of agitation, and the effect is reduced when you go and change this from, yeah, I got it on position 1. When you change these 2 things right here, flip them over, and position 2 actually shows instead of position 1. So I got a kick out of that. I really was not expecting this turbo tool to do that. So anyway, even though Kirby definitely moved on from this turbo tool many decades ago, it still seems to work very well. While this isn't the special extra at the end of the video, because we're not at the end of the video yet, I wanted to see, because I've never tried it, whether or not one of the newer zip brushes works well with the older Heritage series. I mean, I know it'll plug in, but will it keep spinning? So I have this one from my G6. So let's see what it does. So the main differences with this older type of machine versus a newer G series, especially G6, this will have a little bit less airflow and a little bit less suction. So I just wonder how well will a G6 turbo tool do with this much older machine that's pushing less flow and a little bit less suction. Slowing down a little bit more than what I'm used to, but it's not bad. So that's not bad. This is slowing down a lot here. It's not meant for this. So I guess my judgment for this particular tool here on this older machine, it'll work, but you're going to have to be, it's still spinning. You'll have to be a little more delicate with it because it doesn't quite have the same amount of airflow and suction driving it that the newer G series would actually have. So this one is just a little bit weaker. It's not bad, still spinning, but it works. If this is all you had, I mean, you could still use it. Okay, so now it's time for the special extra. Anyone remember just how poorly the turbo tool for the Wind Tunnel Max performed? Well, now I've made some changes to it. So you have 2, 4, 6, 8 quarter-inch holes drilled in the front. So let's see if making this turbo tool kind of close to the high capacity PET one that I used. Now that one has 11 holes in the front. This one I could only fit 8. So let's see if this makes a difference. Away we go. It still runs. You know, it slows down, but I don't think it's quite as much, but it still slows down. Yeah. But if I cover up the holes, it slows much farther down. But this is still running. It's not great, but it's still running. Okay, here we go. And it's still running. It's not great, but it's still running. Okay, so I very carefully drilled 8 quarter-inch holes in here, and yeah, it definitely improved it. So I looked at the previous video, and when I plopped it on the medium pile carpet, this just stopped. Now it keeps running. It's not great, but it'll work. So that's really what I wanted to show you, is that if you have one of these turbo tools and you're real careful, you can improve it by adding some airflow and suction relief holes in it. Now you have to do it in the right spot. If you do it in the wrong spot, you might end up making things worse. But this definitely has improved it. So, hey, thanks for watching and stay tuned for more videos.